it's the type of dialogue that she's opening up. The necessary kind of dialogue that she's supposed to be opening up here. You know what I'm saying? Now let's paint this picture one more time, right? This is a VTuber, right? A VTuber is a virtual content creator that just like you know, creates content digitally, you know, virtually, but behind a virtual avatar, right? A virtual yeah, like display of yourself, like an AI generated, so a cartoon, it could be a cartoon, blah blah blah, right? That just like is animated to do the motions of your face as you talk, but it's not your real face, it's the cartoon, right? But your voice is the real thing. So this creator, VTuber, was invited to at a streamer award show. She's a streamer, right? Slash VTuber. V-streamer? Okay, cool. So, you know, so now this VTuber is invited to this award show, but obviously it's not her at the award show. She's being held through a screen because she cannot show her physical right presence or whatever. She cannot like come out with that because that's the kind of content creator she is. Now she's at the show, and then like, yo, people who are actually excited because Rakai and Ray, they were actually excited to see her. They were like, yo, da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is you. This is Iron Mouse. That's her name, Iron Mouse. Yo, we're so excited to see you. Like WU. You feel what I'm saying? So they were like, yo, yeah. They were chopping it up on some excited vibes. They were like, yo, we just have we just gotta ask you something real quick. And then she was like, yo, ask me anything. And then they asked her, yo, what do you look like? She was like, I'm ugly. Duh, I'm ugly. That's why I'm a VTuber. What? I'm ugly. That's why I'm a VTuber. You understand what I'm saying? After having said, yo, you can ask me anything. And then now because of that, it's like, yo, and at the moment, everybody was excited, dog. Everybody was excited to, you know, interact with everybody else. Like, she was excited to see Rakai and Ray, right? Rakai and Ray was excited to see her, right? Her avatar, right? Hearing her voice, they were excited to hear her voice, you know, because that's what was there essentially. She was not even there. You know what I'm saying? Now she's talking about like, yo, okay. Now she's reflecting, right? Now there's a video where she's reflecting on that whole experience. Now she's like, yo, I actually was not comfortable about like the questions that they were asking me. Like I was visibly shaken. She was like, yo, I was visibly shaken? What are you talking about? What was visibly shaken, bro? You know what I'm saying? Was the nigga that was holding the screen so pressed to go to the bathroom so much that the nigga was just like dancing, trying to I gotta go to the bathroom, and then obviously he's holding the screen. This is you on the screen. He's I gotta go. Obviously that's how you're visibly shaken. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you'd be visibly shaken. You feel me? So yeah, she was talking about, yeah, I'm visibly shaken, and now it's a thing. Now it's literally a thing. I feel like even her delivery was to a point where she's, you know, she's trying to make it a thing where it's like, yo, nah, I'm the victim. She was literally victimizing herself. For what reason, dog? You was having a time. You was having a blast when you was chopping it up with Rakai and Ray. What changed? You know what I'm saying? What changed? I don't know, man. So that was weird, right? So now another thing that I want to raise is the kind of like narrative, as I said, like XQC was raising up the point where it's like, yo, it's a talking point that she's trying to raise. But what kind of talking point is this? We're talking about you are victimizing yourself off of something where you are not physically there, number one. You know what I'm saying? You're not physically there. How are you like violated in this? Because she, like, as I'm saying, her delivery about the whole situation was kind of like, yo, damn near, you know, violated on some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the kind of imagery that she was painting. Like, yo, I was damn near violated, bro. So I'm like, yo, now you want real empathy, you want real sympathy. Like, what are we talking about? Like, this whole thing of, and again, I cannot help but just you know, I cannot help but to point out the rise of, you know, feminism, bro. I don't mean to be political, but yes, feminism that gave people the kind of entitlement where it's like, yo, this shit is in your head, bro. And I'm not talking about like the feminism that was necessary to, you know, that was necessary to be brought up, to be initiated, right? The one where it's like, yo, I understand your cause, I can actually hear your gripes with whatever it is, right, that gave birth to you. But it's like the ones that are extremists, the one like unnecessarily so too, but just to, you know, kind of push their own agendas, to, you know, extremify. Damn, I don't even think that that's a word. Extremify? No, push things to extreme levels of even delusion, to, you know, to the intention for, you know, your own agendas to just be put across. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about that type of toxic feminism. And I'm not saying it's the one that started VTubing or whatever, but I'm saying the kind of thinking that this VTuber has must be a derivative of that, bro. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, yo, that's delusional victimization, bruh. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's, you know, like that's how I really feel about it, right? About the whole experience and the whole. And okay, here's another thing I want to point out, especially about, you know, content creators. This is not no knock at content creators, but it's to a point where this content creation thing, where especially where you're not an outside content creator, right? You're not an IRL content creator. You're not outside. You're just in your own space. You know what I'm saying? All you deliver is your voice. You know what I'm saying? What else besides your voice do you deliver? I'm talking about these VTubers, right? And so therefore, it's like you become a person that's so in their bubble so much that you don't know when to apply a real life principle or a real life thing, a real life concept to, you know, to your reality. You don't know when to. So for example, like, to be able to spot when you are really victimized. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, yo, just because somebody interacted with you in a weird way, but it's not like a weird way that's like so out of pocket, like it's criminal, right? But it was weird that, you know, you even gave the consent, dog. You gave the consent. You was like, yo, ask me anything, nigga. They did that. And right, maybe because the engagement didn't maybe turn out the way you wanted it to turn out, I don't know, but you were engaging with it, so that's your consent with it, right? You were engaging with it, you invited it. You feel what I'm saying? And then now, I don't know, man, I don't know, for whatever reason you're the victim. It's like, that's like, victimization is a real thing, bruh. You know what I mean? That's a real life thing that happens, a real life phenomenon, bruh, that people just experience. You know what I'm saying? People really are victims. But like, it's like, there's certain things, there's certain aspects that makes somebody a victim, is when you're really like violated, bro. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so serious right now. You could have said, yo, turn the screen away, bro. I don't wanna interact with these people. Or you could have just, like, I don't know, switched your own device off on some shit. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to interact, like, if this moment was really that real and that deep for you. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't even know what to call this kind of. Is it entitlement? I don't know. But nothing happened here. Nothing happened here. But that's what I'm saying. If it was really weird, why didn't you tell, like, hey, you device holder, turn me away. I don't want to interact with these people. Well, you could have just muted your device wherever you're sitting in your home, right? Just mute the device. I don't even want to hear these niggas' voices right now. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like. So I don't know what to call this, but shit, it's an interesting phenomenon, bro. Like, it would be so interesting to, you know, maybe, let's say, get to a time where this kind of thing, right, is really a criminal violation, where you virtually, you know, say something and then that could be considered a kind of violation that left her shaken or left them shaken to a point where it's like, nah, you deserve to be criminalized for that. Oh, but I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, for as long as the world is embracing more and more of this online reality and people building their identities there, it's like there are gonna have to be laws around just like how people interact within that space. It might even feel ridiculous at first.